Blending can make or break your makeup and is one important step not to skip in your makeup skills. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to blend off makeup harsh lines. If you're interested, let's begin. Starting off with my bare skin. Now you can see how my bare skin is looking, and before you proceed to applying your makeup, you want to make sure that you have a good solid base or solid good skincare base. And starting off, I'm going to moisturize my face. Regardless of your skin type, oily skin, dry skin, sensitive skin, or normal skin, you want to make sure that you hydrate your skin to give your skin or your face some extra moisture so the makeup sits on it. Because when you apply makeup on a dry skin or on a dull skin, your makeup does not appear brighter and it doesn't give you an easy blend through. And after doing that, I'm going to spritz my face using a rose water to prevent dull skin, because this helps to prevent any form of dull skin and also gives an extra moisture on my face. And next, I'm going to use a primer. Now, primer is the first and most important step of your makeup. Regardless of your skin type, always go in with a primer. Oily skin, use a matte primer, and a dry skin, use a hydrating primer. I'm going to apply the primer in the areas of my face where I tend to produce oil the most. I'm just going to blend that on my face using my fingers. Next, for foundation, you want to make sure that you're layering a good foundation base on your skin, making sure that the foundation you're applying on your skin is your exact skin tone. This foundation has SPF, which makes it interesting because we did not use any form of sunscreen here in this video before applying our makeup. And you want to make sure that you're using sunscreen to prevent any form of sunburn or whatsoever. And this foundation is one of my absolute favorite, especially with the coverage from this foundation. This foundation is true to skin and is easy to blend on the skin. To blend this foundation, I'm going to use a damp beauty sponge and I'm going to blend it all the way down to my neck. And now you can see what my face is looking like. It's looking more like we did not apply any form of product on our face. But yeah, I love the finish of this foundation. It's one good foundation to have. It's good for both oily skin, dry skin, normal skin, combination skin, sensitive skin. Is very good and shared to the skin. Very easy to blend. As you can see my face, you see that we still have harsh lines regardless of how much we've blended this makeup. And you don't want to leave your makeup or your foundation the exact same way like this. You want to make sure that you blend it off. So I'm going to use the back of my beauty sponge again to blend everything out together. And as you can see, we still have some product at the back of my hand because I applied the product at the back of my hand. Now, first step, you want to make sure that you apply the product at the back of your hand, not directly on your face, so it gives you a bit of control to know the amount of product you need on your face, so you don't go on applying way too much product. That gives you a bit of control to the amount of product you need on your face. And next, I'm going to blend everything together and use the leftover product to blend on my forehead because we still need some bit of coverage on that area. For my nose area, notice that I did not apply any form of product on my nose area, so I'm going to use the leftover product from the beauty sponge to blend my nose because I don't want to apply way too much product on my nose area because that's one of the thinnest part of our face. And if you apply too much product, it's going to clog up your nose pores area and your makeup is going to separate in that area as well. So I'm going to use the back of the sponge to blend everything together. And now that I've blended everything together to perfection, to satisfaction, now guys, this is what my face is looking like. And you want to make sure that your foundation is well blended to your skin. There is no form of harsh lines whatsoever. And if you notice or if you find out there is harsh lines, you can always go back to blend it out. Moving on to concealer, I'm going to place concealer in the areas of my face where I want light to hit or where I want to highlight, underneath my eye, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead area. And guys, this is how my face is currently looking like, and I did not apply way too much product. You don't want to apply too much product, especially for highlighting your face or for your makeup. And I'm going to go in with a beauty sponge, and I'm using a clean beauty sponge, clean damp beauty sponge, not wet beauty sponge but damp beauty sponge. And I'm going to blend my forehead area, and I'm going to start from the edges to blend before spreading it out. And next, I'm going to proceed to blending my under eye area. And when blending this area, you don't want to be in a rush. You want to take your time to blend it one step at a time. So I'm blending from the inner corners of my under eye before spreading it to the outer area. And while blending it, I'm making sure to also blend the edges. And as you can see the lines the concealer is giving on my face, and we don't want those harsh lines. To prevent those harsh lines, I'm going to use the other side of the beauty sponge where we not use. So while I'm blending the concealer, I'm also making sure to blend off or take off the harsh lines. So you blend as you go. In the event where you forgot to blend the concealer immediately when blending it up, you can always go back to blend your concealer and that just makes the job easy or makes it easier for you. So you don't leave your concealer product just the way you applied it. You want to make sure that everything is well blended to your skin, and there is no form of harsh lines to show where product you just applied, or to show the lines between where you just applied your makeup product. It doesn't look good, doesn't tell good. So blending your under eye area, taking your time, and I was actually taking my time blending it lightly, precisely, and also spreading it to connect to the other areas of my face. To prevent your concealer from giving you harsh lines, you want to make sure to always go back and forth to blending your concealer. Moving on to contour, I'm going to place the contour product in the areas of my face where I usually contour to create like a shadow or dimension on my face. So I'm placing it on my forehead, my temples, the hollows of my face, and the sides of my nose as well. I'm going to blend that using a brush. So I'm blending it starting from my forehead area, and I'm blending it into my hairline. And when blending this product, you want to make sure that you're blending in a stippling motion. You're not blending in a swirling motion or you're in a circular motion. You want to make sure that you're blending it and pushing it into your skin and also to the hairlines. Moving or proceeding to the sides or the hollows of your face, you want to make sure that you're blending it upwards. You're not blending it down so it drop your face. You want to make sure that you're blending it upwards to give your face like a lifting or something, lifting kind of. And moving on to blending my nose contour, I'm going to go in with a contour brush or a small nose contour brush to blend in my nose contour, and I'm blending it to connect into my brow hairs. Guys, if you want to see an in-depth tutorial to nose contour and also a different tutorial to highlight and contour, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be more than willing to create a tutorial relating to that. And I'm also going to go in with the beauty sponge to blend my nose contour area and my under eye area to take off the harsh lines of the contour, because we don't want to see the harsh lines. Like guys, like I said before, to take off the harsh lines on your makeup, you want to make sure that you always go back and forth with your blending tool to blend the makeup product, especially if you're using a beauty sponge or you're using a foundation brush. Always go back and forth to blending the makeup product to take off the harsh lines. Moving on to cream blush, I'm going to be picking some of the cream blush from the blush palette. I'm also going to tap the excess off at the back of my hand because I don't want to apply too much product on my face all at once. I'm placing the cream blush in the areas of my face where I usually place cream blush. I'm using a different brush for this process, and I'm going to place the blush in the highest points of my face, my cheekbone areas, for blending it. Now guys, this is how my blush is looking like we just placed the blush and I didn't go to blend it. Like I didn't take my time to blend the blush, the cream blush, how I would usually blend it. To blend the harsh lines or to take off the harsh lines, I'm going to use the beauty sponge I used earlier for my foundation, and I'm going to blend from the edges, and I'm blending in between the contour and the cream blush. And guys, when blending your products, you want to make sure that you're pushing it into your skin. So guys, you can see how a simple going back and forth to blend the blush just changed this look. Like guys, take a look at this other side where we blended and the other side where we did not blend. Like you can see a clear difference between both areas. I'm going to repeat the exact same process on the other side of my face, using the same beauty sponge to blend everything in together into my skin. And I'm not touching the blush, I'm only blending from the edges to take off the harsh lines. So this is how we're currently looking like with every product all blended into my skin, and there is no form of harsh lines. It's well blended in unison. So next I'm going to go back in with the contour brush to blend the harsh line, to blend the lines, because while blending the blush actually took away from the contour product, and we don't want that. We want to make sure that our contour is visible as well, while also blending everything in together to making it or creating like a unison on a face. And I'm going to do that to blend in everything together. And it's just all about going back and forth to take off the harsh lines in this video, and you want to make sure that you create time to do that. And guys, this is the part where you want to make sure that you apply all of your cream products first to blend everything in together. Moving on to set my under eye using powder. And before setting my under eye or placing the powder to set my under eye, I'm going to go back in with the beauty sponge we used earlier for setting my under eye area. I'm going to blend to take off the creases or the lines underneath my eye, because the concealer usually settles in the crease lines underneath your eye, and you don't want to place powder on top of it. You want to make sure that you go back in to blend off the crease lines before placing powder to set your under eye area. To do that, I'm going to use the beauty sponge to blend that, and I'm blending it upwards. So blending it upwards will take off the harsh lines or take off the crease lines. I'm going to lightly dust the powder on my under eye area to set so the concealer does not move. Moving on to set the rest of my face, where I applied concealer, I'm going to set my forehead area also to prevent the concealer from moving. And I'm also going to set my nose area, the bridge of my nose, where I applied form of concealer or highlighted concealer in that area as well, so it does not move. And I'm also going to set my chin area, where I usually have large pores, and the areas of my face where I have fine lines and my smile lines. To contour or to set my cream contour, I'm going to go in with a powder contour to set my cream contour, and I'm blending it towards my hairline. Again, I'm blending it in a stippling motion. I'm pushing it into my skin so it does not move the product, so that way it blends into your skin seamlessly and flawlessly without moving the cream product. When blending in your product into your skin, you want to make sure that you're taking your time. You're not in a hurry doing this. You want to take your time to blend in the product into your skin and also push it into your skin so it does not move the product while blending into your skin. It's easy when you're blending your makeup product to move the cream product and cause form of like a cream product to cake up on your face, and you don't want that. To set my cream blush, I'm going to use the powder blush from a powder palette, and I'm going to dust off the excess before placing it to set my cream blush so the cream does not move. Again, I'm pushing it into my skin and also blending it together, so that's where it does not move the product or form any form of cakiness on my skin, because it's easy. And guys, you can see how my skin is looking like already after placing the product in. Next, I'm going to go in with another powder palette to set the rest of my face. This is all over powder, and I'm mixing different shades of powder together. Guys, I hit pan on this one, but I love this powder and this is true to skin, so I'm going to use it to blend my face, and I'm also going to blend all the way down to my neck. I'm using this powder to blend every form of product we've just applied on our face to take care of the harsh lines, because majority of the times people skip this part of their makeup. And guys, if you do skip this part of it, then you're missing out, because you're not going to remember to blend off the harsh lines, and you need to do all of this. And guys, you can see how my skin is looking like. Guys, take a look at the skin, like the skin blend. This is blended to perfection. And guys, you want your skin to look well blended, like you woke up like this. Exactly, you want to make sure that everything is well blended into your skin. There is no form of harsh lines whatsoever, and if you discover or if you find out there is harsh line, you can always go back to blend everything together. To take off the powdery feel, I'm going to go back in with the rose water spray we used earlier to set the rest of my face, or to set my face and allow it to sit in for a while. And next, I'm going to go in with a blotting powder. Guys, at this point, you should know by now that I don't skip blotting powder. I always go back in with the blotting powder to set the areas of my face where I tend to produce all during the day. And also going to set my fine lines areas as well as my smile lines, because we tend to crease in that area as well, and we don't want to omit that, because the makeup usually tend to separate in the fine line areas, and we don't want that. And guys, this is how my skin is currently looking like. There is no form of harsh lines whatsoever. Everything is well blended into the skin. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned one or two. Let me know other areas you have trouble in. Check out my other videos to stay connected. Bye guys.